Hey, finally ready. Poured myself 1 cup of hot cocoa. And we are ready for my second piece of I hope it's to your liking. This one is a story of fantasy and savagery. Haito Gensou no Grimgar. It's you'd think it's your classical, well you can say it's your classical fantasy setting, but this one takes it quite differently. It's made its own place in my heart, I would say. And that is why it is my number 2 on my list. So, this is a story that came actually not from a manga, but from a light novel in Japan, written by Ao Jumonji and illustrated by Eiri Shirai. This book is published by Overlap Bunko, but I am going to start off by talking to you really about the animation, because that is what I started with and that is what got me into the whole thing, and I highly recommend the animation. But if you want to start with the book, go ahead, like seriously. It is actually published in English now. I actually just checked, it's finally been published also here. The animation was made by A1 Animations, and damn, it is glorious. So, this is one of those stories that, at least for me, I fell in love with it from the very first scene. As soon as I saw that first scene, I knew I was gonna love this show no matter what. So, the show starts, you put directly into a battle scene. 5 kids against 1 goblin. You see one of the kids who's a warrior, a dark knight. You'll know about it if you watch. A dark knight who just rushes the goblin, tries to cut it, but the goblin dodges to his side, pushes him down. Another one who's a thief comes in with a knife, tries to stab the goblin just moves out of the way, he misses. Another guy comes in with a giant sword, he swings, poof, goblin dodges down, his sword gets stuck into the tree. A girl in the background who looks like a magician because she's wearing a hat and the whole attire starts casting a spell. The goblin rushes her. She falls down. The goblin misses by a bit because of the priest in the group who comes and saves her. He then heals her and shouts out to the entire group, "Guys, remember, this goblin is a living creature like everyone else. It wants to survive. It is fighting for its life out there." That statement and how hard it was for them to try and take down this one solo goblin, which we then learn from the other guy who responds, isn't the goblin supposed to be the weakest creature in this world? That struggle that they had against this one creature, and they don't even kill it, they don't actually manage to kill it. The struggle they had against this one creature it showed me how deep the development of this world was for the authors, or for the writer of the story. It's not like in other stories where it's almost too easy for our heroes to take down an enemy or two who are sort of like grunts, or the weakest enemies in that world. For example, if you took video games as an example, slimes and all that other stuff that you get at the beginning of your games, they're easy to beat. They make it way too easy to beat. Just click one button and you're done. But if this was a game, you would have to step it up just to make it through the first few fights. And I like that. I loved that. And that was what got me into it. So, yeah, here you don't have any information about the origin story in the anime. That's how they decided to start it, and I admire that change. But in the book has a different start, and this is where the animation goes right after the scene, pretty much. The story really starts in a dark place. And all they hear is awaken. And so they awaken. And they start talking and they realize that there are many people in this dark place. They don't know where they are. And then suddenly, they hear a door start to open. And they see light at the end of a tunnel. And so of course, they all go. And when they emerge from the tunnel, they discover a landscape that looks like it's taken from a medieval time. And you can see a town in the distance that looks like a castle, with lights everywhere. And then they just start talking and they realize they don't actually remember anything. They don't remember their friends, their family, or what they've been doing until that moment. That is the first memories they have. And so they try to figure it out amongst themselves, but none of them remember. And so they decide to talk to the gods, who then tell them to go into town to the mercenaries' headquarters. And there, the person in charge does tell them that you just gotta survive in this world. He doesn't know what's up. He doesn't know anything. He just tells them that, yeah, okay, you don't remember anything? Well, you got to survive and I've got a job for you. Become mercenaries. He hands them 10 silver copper pieces each and tells them that they have to buy their way into the mercenaries and then just start working. And so, from knowing nothing, just a bunch of kids, they're thrown into this world and they're forced to fight monsters to protect the capital, to protect human beings, and to earn money to survive longer in this world. Well, of course, that couldn't be all. You can't just become a mercenary, go out and kill monsters when you have no recollection of anything. So you don't have any skills except for, basic talking, walking, stuff like that. So yeah, after they join the mercenaries, they have to join a guild of thieves, warriors, dark knights, magicians, or rangers. At least those are the ones that we represented at the very beginning of the story. You join those guilds and you have to pay a fee to then train and learn techniques under your master. And that's what they do. Everyone separates to different groups and their journey starts. But we follow the journey of the weakest of all the groups in there. As you can tell by that goblin fight scene, they have a long way to go. And that is something that I love about this. Of course, I'm sure that the story could still be interesting if they showed us the strongest group too. But seeing the struggle of the smallest group is quite something. And so they're going to take their time and try and figure out ways in which they can make it. Kill monsters and get more money to then survive. They're almost no winning group. And yet they will come to understand ways in which they might be able to make it. I don't want to say too much to spoil it, but what I love the most about it is, like in that first fight, the struggle they have against one weak creature, how slow the progression is. So it's like real life. That you might think it's a video game, like Sword Art Online and other things like Log Horizon, but this is real. The struggle is real. Death is a real thing in this world. But yeah, slow pacing. For me, if I was ever going to if I ever get the chance to make my own video game, that's how I'd make it. I'll make it slow. Not something that you can just get into and, kill monsters at the click of a button. I like the struggle. It gives you a sense of reality. If you're really fighting a monster, do you really think it would be that easy to take it down. And if you were in a fantasy world yourself, becoming a magician or a magical knight, for example, would you really be able to just gain experience, through killing a few monsters and learn any skill you want? No, you'd have to use specific skills, learn to use them properly to make them stronger, and you would have to train under a master, not just for a second, give them money and you're done, you got your new spell. No, you'd have to train for days to learn a new technique and then master it just in your own time, in real combat. And I love that about the story. And that is how it continues on. The story will move you along slowly, bit by bit. Truly like an old fantasy book. Like an old gigantic fantasy book. So yes, this is my second piece of gold. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. Haito Gensou no Grimgar. It's a show that I highly recommend, especially for anyone out there who loves fantasy stories. Whether you've come from books like Eragon or Harry Potter, or you like manga like Nanatsu no Taisen, The Seven Deadly Sins, Dragon Ball, all that's... No, Dragon Ball, no. Dragon Ball is another category of its own. Gag, rather, I would say. But yeah, if you're into fantasy stories, you will love this one. If you've seen it, let me know how you found it in the comment section below. And if you watch it, let me know too. I'll be interested to know if this video did get you to check it out. But yeah, it is my favorite fantasy story so far, I would say. Came out 2 years ago, if I remember well, that first season. There haven't been any new seasons since. I'm still hoping that they're gonna continue it, but I haven't heard of any news from it. And otherwise, the book is now available everywhere, even in English, and you can get the 8 first books already. So yeah, I am going to continue reading on, and if I do get the chance, I will put this in my anime talks. Like, I'll actually talk about the story too, because I would like to review it and give you a score, because I know that some people, that's what gets them moving, and definitely I'm willing to analyze it for you. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want more. I'll be bringing you at least 2 pieces of anime gold every week from now on. Okay guys, this was me, Angie Nights, signing off.